Hello everyone, it's Samantha here of Samantha Sutherland Art and Books. I'm popping here quick because I do want to do a main video, which hopefully will be later on this week. But I went on World of Books last week, and I treated myself and my daughter to some poetry books because she, like me, is a big fan of Carol Ann Duffy. So I got her a book of Carol Ann Duffy's. I'm still waiting for mine to turn up because there's a couple that are still waiting to arrive. But I'm a big fan of a poet called Pam Ayres. I was introduced to her by my mum, who passed away 5 years ago now, and at her funeral we actually, I'd picked when the humanist celebrant asked if there was any kind of reading that we wanted, and I said instantly yes, there's a Pam Ayres poem I want to be read, and it was, I think it's I Wish I Had All My Teeth. I think that's the one, because my mum doesn't mind me mentioning this. She had false teeth, and she was always saying, wish I had all my own teeth, because she really liked chocolate eclairs, you know, the little chewy sweets. I love them too. It's the only caramel I really like. And she couldn't eat, obviously, chewy foods, so she'd always say, I wish I had my own teeth. And it made me think of the poem, and obviously at a funeral, which is quite a solemn thing, it garnered a few chuckles because of the wording of the poem. But yeah, I was introduced to poetry through people like Michael Rosen and Roald Dahl, like most kids are. And again, like I said, Pam Ayres was because of my mum. So I got this one from WOB, which is You Made Me Late Again. There was quite a few to choose from, but this is the one I went with. And I just want to read you a few poems, just a little bit quickly. Well, because I've got a few things that I have to do. Plus also, I've had a migraine attack today, so I'm not quite very awake, but I really wanted to share this with you all because I was reading and I've nearly finished the book and I only started it today. And that's just how much fun her poems can be. They're like a really good biscuit. They're very Moorish. You read one, but then you have to read more. And I got a little bit too tired to keep reading. So this one is called The Paracantha Anthem. On a Gardener's World television programme, I was enthusing about certain easy-to-grow plants which not only look nice, but which also benefit wildlife by providing pollen, nectar, and berries. Paracantha is one of my favourites. And it goes like this. On many a flower, shrub, and tree, food for birds grow naturally. On the paracantha say, as autumn shortens each new day, see the show of berries start. In red and green, to lift the heart, and after we've admired the spot, blackbirds come and scoff the lot. And it's full of beautiful illustrations, this book. And then there's If You Gave Me a Diamond. If you gave me a diamond as big as a rock, apart from the fact I would pass out from shock, I'd fear I would lose it or burglars would reap it. So all things considered, I think you should keep it. The Swifts. And again, another beautiful illustration. The swifts are back, they slice the air. They're back, from God knows where, navigating mile and mile to the very roof and to the very tile. Allotment rustler. I like to see allotments for the architecture's grand, the sheds and huts, the water butts, the sweetness of the land. But no, as night is falling, the shamelessness, the folly. Some lowlife has flashed a knife and made off with your collie. That darned allotment rustler, he has come to do us wrong. We'll lash him with a leaky hose, we'll prick him with a prong. He'll never prowl these parts again, or steal another collie. Then round our plants we'll do a dance and crack a bottle of bully. And some of her poems are quite poignant and really make you think as well. So yes, they're funny, but some of them not always funny, but they are beautifully written. So this one's called The Old Twilight Home. Again, another lovely illustration. At the old twilight home we are safely installed, helpless, incontinent, toothless and bald, silent but for the occasional shout when carers come in here and knock us about. Our daughters and sons, they have fled to a man. They throw off their parents as fast as they can. They sometimes drive past looking wealthy and flash, having sold off the mansion and trousered the cash. We just don't deserve to be left in this fix. Our kids never boarded until they were 6. discarded, disgruntled, dismayed by our plight. If this is the twilight, then bring on the night. I mean, obviously, with elderly people in residential care, it's quite a moving poem, and it does make you think. Another one that I really enjoyed is the wildlife garden. The wildlife in our garden, it fills me with delight. The sparrowhawk attacks by day, the muntjac comes by night. The foxes round the dustbins, the rats they are not pretty, the squirrels on the peanuts, and I'm moving to the city. And Shoe shop of my dreams. Corns and calluses walk right in, and bunions met with beaming grin. Fallen arches, hammer toes, we specialise in all of those. Duck-like walks and massive feet welcomed in from the dusty street. Swollen ankles, boiling trotters, all hosed down and clad in hotters. Feet that face in two directions, feet requiring disinfection, kindly shod by smiling teams in the shoe shop of my dreams. And the very last one that I will leave you with is a dog at home. I always like a dog at home. It makes it nice and hairy. And if a burglar calls, your dog will make the place sound scary. Your dog will idolize you, and his love will never stop. You only need some food and drink, a bucket and a mop. I really, really like, I love her poems because they are so funny, and they do hit home as well, because they're full of her own experiences as well. And yeah, there's so much in here. I could have read so many of them. I could have read them all, to be honest. Her poems are so easy to read. They're so much fun to read as well. And yes, there are some quite poignant, quite touching ones as well, which do make you think. And then obviously there's the lighter hearted ones as well. So if you are looking for a gateway into poetry, because you might like the idea of poetry, but you might be a bit, a bit nervous about tackling something like Shakespeare or Eliot or Tennyson or anything like that, then why don't you go back to your childhood and read Michael Rosen and the Rotten Rhymes of Roald Dahl, and maybe even have a look for a Pam Ayres book, because you'll probably find them in the charity shop. You can find them online. You can find them in many, many places. She's got tons of books out. Excuse me. This is just one I picked. I didn't pick it for any particular reason. But I just thought the title sounded funny, and I started reading it this afternoon, and I'm almost finished with it. And I will keep this on my bookshelf for many years to come. Like I said, I'm a big fan of Pam Ayres. I want to collect all of her books. Yeah, so it's a really good place to start for poetry anyway. They're more natural and more personal in a way, because of who she is and what she writes. And she's always on TV as well. When she did Gardeners World, or she was on Gardeners World. She's just finished, or they've just finished showing on Channel 5, I think it was. It might still be on, I don't know if it's finished. Pam Ayres in the south of England, places like Cornwall and things, and places like that, sharing her favourite places to go, which was the episode I watched was great because it was Cornwall, and I've got this obsession with wanting to go to Cornwall. But yeah, what else can I say about Pam Ayres other than she's really funny, and she's one of those poets. Excuse me. She's one of those poets who just can make you laugh, make you giggle out loud. I've always laughed whilst listening to her poems, listening to her read them, whether they've been on an audiobook or whether she's been interviewed, and she can just come up with a poem off the top of her head and just come out with such funny verses. And so if you're looking for something a bit funny, can I suggest Pam Ayres? Now, I read some of these to my daughter while she was playing Minecraft. Some of it she did listen to. I was watching Tristan reads the classics, and he said, because I think he said he was told, or he read somewhere, that you shouldn't sit children down to read them stories. Let them do things like play or do homework or something, so they're just kind of listening in the background. And I think it kind of worked, because my little one, she was listening sometimes, because she did giggle and comment on some of the poems. So yeah, I'm hoping my little girl ends up with my love of Pam Ayres as much as I got my love of Pam Ayres from my mum. So there's nothing more I can really say. Get the book, get a book, get one of a book, get any of her books. She's got tons out. If you like Victoria Wood and you will love Pam Ayres. If you ever watched Victoria Wood when she did like all the poems and stuff and she sat at the piano doing the songs, the funny songs, Pam Ayres, that's Pam Ayres. And obviously she was inspired possibly by Pam Ayres as a poet. How many times can I say this woman's name? Yeah, so I can highly recommend this poetry book. I mean, I'm really enjoying this book. And the thing I like about secondhand books is, as well, as you noticed, some of the pages are dog-eared, but also they're marked with their favourite poems, obviously, or poems that they wanted to go back and read again. So whoever this book belonged to had a real love of Pam Ayres as well. So I'm going to go now because I'm just rambling. So yeah, good gateway into poetry. Go back, like I said, to your childhood, to Michael Rosen, to read anything that was written by Roald Dahl and illustrated by Quentin Blake, which really made the poems pop. And yeah, I hope you do enjoy as much as I do. So I'm going to shush now and I will see you later. Hopefully later on this week with possibly a longer video, we'll see, because I'm a bit busy this week. I'll see you later, and thank you for spending this bit of time with me and for listening to me ramble. As always, you can find me on Instagram and on Goodreads, and good reading to you. Bye everyone.